How's it going, everyone? It's Sam. The stock market is flip-flopping. You can see the indexes are up nearly 2%, basically recovering what they lost yesterday. If you're investing in growth stocks, you're probably having even a better day. We've had many of them sell off pretty drastically, and now they are flying up with AMC up 20%, Churchill Capital up 8%, CleanSpark up 6.5%, Square, Tattooed Chef, Palantir, Fubo, all the retail favorites that we've invested in are up pretty drastically here today. So we're going to take a look at what happened, what's happening now, what we have to be careful of because the media is trying to push us a certain way, and what we can do moving forward because next week is a huge week for the stock market. Now, if you guys don't mind just hitting the like button, I appreciate that. Someone asked me, or someone said in one of my videos, hey, stop asking for it, people do it. But if I do ask for it, more people do it. So that's the reason I keep on asking. Everyone does that in the finance space, so I do appreciate that. Also, there is a link underneath the video in case you want to try out Webull, be able to see these types of charts and price movements just like me. You can try that out down below. Just deposit $5 to get the bonus that you get when you sign up and deposit. So what is happening? Well, obviously, a lot of people are excited, thinking that there might actually be another rally in growth stocks. We've seen massive sell-offs in some of these growth-oriented plays over the last couple months. I mean, we've seen CCIV all the way at 60. We've seen CleanSpark up around 40, even more recently around 20, 25. We have Square that was much higher in the past. BNGO was at $15 or $16 a share. Tattooed Chef near $30 a share. Palantir near 40. A lot of these plays have fallen off dramatically because people were worried about a couple different things. The main thing was actually inflation. So people were worried about inflation. Inflation's come in really high. They're worried that if there's a lot of inflation, the market will sell off due to the fact that they'll have to raise rates. The Fed will have to raise rates. However, something that happened yesterday, which is kind of interesting, is that there were Delta variants. So with the COVID cases, a lot of people were worried, and a lot of people sold yesterday thinking, hey, we could go into another lockdown. Now, when the selling was happening yesterday, I thought that was a little bit overblown because we had the same thing happen last year. And you would think that a lot of people would move from maybe more recovery-oriented stocks like the hotels and the airlines over to companies like Google, over to companies that were really strong stay-at-home stocks. And we saw that a little bit with Peloton, for example, which was up 5% or 6% or something like that. But a lot of stocks didn't have what we thought would happen. A lot of the stocks that did really well this last year didn't do that well. But today, I think we're starting to see people realize, hey, a lot of these stocks will do quite well if we have to return to home, or it won't matter. Like for CleanSpark, right? We're talking about a grid company. This company will do better because more people will need the grid if they stay home. More people need to be taken off the grid just in case there is some power outage or something like that. And even though Bitcoin's down today, CleanSpark has been falling down to such a low value, it seems like a steal at these current prices. Same thing with some other stocks. Palantir is going to do their thing with the government no matter if the market is, no matter whether we are shut down or not. So I think we're seeing some people realize, hey, some of these were massively oversold and we need to buy into them. Now, I covered this in a video this morning, which is the market sentiment and how to actually beat the market. And this is where we were yesterday, kind of in this like capitulation, despondency, and now we're like almost in depression or hope, but it goes back and forth on a daily basis, right? So we had this yesterday where if you would have sold off and you would have quit stocks, I did a video talk about how a lot of people have been reaching out saying that they're just taking a step away from the market. If you had done that, you would be stuck down here. When you sold, a lot of other people would start to feel relief, hope, optimism, and you would be stuck down here. And the trick is tricking yourself to buy in when there is a lot of fear, but you have to dollar cost average to make sure that you don't buy, let's say, when you're panicking and then it falls down 30% more or something like that. So if you want to see that full video, I'll put it on the end screen, but I think it is helpful for a lot of people. Now, one thing that I think you should protect yourself against is getting bad information. And I think a lot of people use sites like The Motley Fool or CNBC to get information, and that's fine. But you get a lot of things like this where 3 hot stocks to buy in July, where we saw Fubo TV. They were listed on here, talk about how it was a hot stock to buy. But just today, we had 3 expensive stocks I'd sell before the next market crash. Now, this is by a different person, but it's still on their website. And it's pretty much just noise, right? Between the two, it cancels itself out, but it could cause fear. This one came out today. The funny thing is, since the first one came out, which was July 6th, we actually had Fubo fall about 10% over the last 11% over the last 2 weeks since this was out. So there's a lot of fear, right? There's artificial fear where people are just putting out new articles because they're trying to make content, and they're opposite, or they are opposing what they did in the past. Now, a lot of these websites have a lot of different contributors, so maybe it helps you form your opinion, but this is going to continue to happen where you might see something when you're already fearful that makes you more fearful. So just guard against that. Now, next week, we have earnings coming for Google, Apple. We have Amazon. I believe Tesla's next week. We have a lot of the big companies announcing earnings. A lot of people think that these companies have been going up and up and up, and they're due for a little bit of a correction. I mean, we have Alphabet that has gone, in the last year, it's been up about 70%, 60%. So we're seeing a big push in a lot of these bigger tech plays because people realize, hey, there's still a lot of growth. They still are a little bit safer than some other stocks. And I talked about maybe a month ago how I was going to go pretty heavy on Alphabet and Apple. Right now, I'm sitting waiting for their earnings. I don't want to buy in right before their earnings. I'm not trying to make an earnings play. But I do realize that a lot of the smaller tech companies, a lot of the smaller growth stocks have been hit hard significantly over the last couple months, with some of them down 50, 60, 70%. So they probably have more upside, maybe less downside too, even though they're not as built out as a company, right? They're not as stable as a company. The fact is they've fallen down 50 or 60%. Alphabet is up 60%. So the fact is they have less downside in that sense that they can't keep on selling off forever. Unless they go bankrupt, they will be in much better situations. And a lot of these companies have a lot of cash. So that's just something to consider. Of course, do your own research. I'm not a financial advisor, all that good stuff. But let me know what you guys are seeing in the market and what you are doing down below in the comment section. Thank you guys so much for checking out this video, for checking out the link down below to Webull. And if you want to see what I'm buying on a daily basis, you can check out the link down below to Patreon. Again, I would love to buy Alphabet and Apple too. I've been buying over the last couple months, but I am just waiting a little bit longer to do any large buys now. Thank you guys, and I will see you in the next video.